bring up Nifty chart in front of you. Uh, there you go. So, like we discussed yesterday in the morning, we have seen a bearish range bound to bearish expired, right? So, that's a good sign from yesterday. The Nifty couldn't withstand on the upside, and it fell in line with the global markets. So basically, if we see, we expired around 14,900 odd levels, 14,906, and 14,880 was a good support. 14,850, like we discussed, 14,880 and 14,890 was a decent support level. So right from there, we just bounced back and expired around 14,000. Uh, Post that, we witnessed a significant movement in global cues. Nasdaq closed upper, and US markets significantly closed high. Also, if we see, SGX Nifty is trading around 15,020 points. That's slightly 0.5% up from the yesterday's closing levels. So we could we could open up somewhere around 15,000 levels today, more or less 15,000, 14,980, 15,020 pound levels. So that note, we will see a very volatile morning, and I feel that would be followed by a range bound day, to be precise. Because there's not much movement, even I mean, there's no much uh, nothing from the news front or as such significant price action that's going on. All we can see is a very range bound week completely. I mean, we had a pretty bullish days on Monday and Tuesday. Post that, it's been all range bound days. So let's see what we can make out from today. So we have a clear resistance at 15,133. That's on Wednesday's high, not from so Tuesdays and Wednesday's high. So those are both levels to watch out. And again, like we spoke, 14,880 level, 14,890 is a decent support zone, followed by 14,850, and on upside 15,220. So let's just take a note of that. If we just write it down, for February, levels will be 14,080, 15,000 distance, 15,055, 15,150. These are on the upside levels. So for today, I feel these are what it's going to be around, because there's not much movement, and this is where I see if there is no other price action that's going on. So that note, let's also see on a 5-minute chart what it would like. So if you see completely, we had a range bound day between those both ranges. I think it's from 18, 99, 20. 3 days we have been in the same range, and we haven't broken much. Like yesterday there was a good move, but I'm pretty sure. I mean, there's nothing like surety in this, but I'm pretty confident that we are gonna see a pretty volatile morning and then followed by a range bound. So on that note, let's also see for Bank Nifty where we are. Before that, let me just bring up SGX Nifty for you. SGX Nifty. And currently we are trading around 15,027. But if we see Nasdaq futures, they are significantly up yesterday, trading around 30,506. So at the same levels when Nasdaq was 30,100, our Nifty was also trading around 15,000 level, 15,050 odd levels in the past 2 days. But right now we are at 13,506, and SGX Nifty hasn't really shown a significant move. So that's a sign of caution that there might be a volatile morning until the price adjustments or the positions are adjusted completely by the global players. I mean FIIs and DIs specifically to mention. So that's on SGX part. Let's just see on the option front also how it is placed. So we can see significant OI placed around 15,000 for now, but since the first day of the week, this still isn't showing us the complete picture. It, it shows normally by Monday evening or Tuesday morning to be followed, because then only the positions are slightly adjusted. So yes, on that note, let me just bring back the Bank Nifty charts in front of you. Right. And right. Okay, where is Nifty Bank? Let's come to 1 day chart. Right. So yesterday, what we discussed. Yesterday's low was 13,000. Yeah, 13,273 precise. Let me just clear out the entire drawing and then we'll start. So we discussed yesterday that once 33,000 in the previous day low is broken, we would see a significant downfall. That was 33,700, and the Nifty Bank did take support at 33,500 levels also, like we discussed. But let's just see your 500 levels. So just on track to so opened around 33,800, well above our resistance support zone of 33,700. But in the first tick itself, we crashed. First couple of ticks itself, we crashed below 33,700, but it did hover around that level for quite some time. So sort of seemed like until mid-May, it did seem like we'll be having a range bound day, but right at after 12 o'clock, we did see that it did dip to 33,500 levels also. So again, this 33,500 was forming sort of good support. It did try a couple of times to break here at 115 and then 130, but it couldn't. And then again, it tried to retrace back to 33,650. From there, we did see a steep fall. That was around 2 o'clock. So this was a good, decent move, expiry move, we could say. So that note, but Nifty Bank 50 well again, right? So our support levels were basically three levels: 33,700, 33,500, and 33,300. So it did test all the levels. 33, and Bank Nifty closed well above 33,300 support level. So, but if the selling continued below 33,300, we would have seen 33,000. More probability of 33,000 was high. So that note, we did close on a significant note, but last 1 hour or so on expiry is normally a position adjustment. So that shouldn't be impacting much on our analysis. And right now we are on a range bound trend, either bearish or either bullish. I mean, positionally, it's not just advisable to carry huge shorts or huge longs. Basically, that's what I meant by that. So yes, that's on Bank Nifty front. If you see actually Bank Nifty, yesterday private banks performed really bad. So let me just bring up HDFC. Yeah. So from opening, yes, right? Yeah. It opened around 1465 and it crashed to 1432. Then ICICI, similar low. It opened higher, 20th. So it opened around 632, it crashed to 618. Significant move again because these are heavyweights on index. Similar follow up by we were decent opening 1737 and crashed to 1700 balance. But there was one script that came really good, and that is SBI, and it was in a range around 387. Previous day well above the previous day closing, and it did close above the previous day level too. And it did have a significant price action in its entirety. It was showing good levels basically because today we have SBI. Right. Yes, Vishwanath, like you mentioned, we do have results. Yeah. So Vishwanath mentioned that today we do have results of SBI. To see what would happen in the year. So on 15 minutes, it's being a range bound trend if you see. Let's just take yesterday's itself. It hasn't broken its day high, neither it broke its day low. It almost quite near its 382 level. That's if you see on the past 3 days or so, it's been at the same level. So I guess for now to continue, 392.6 is what we'll be looking at. That's 3 odd %. And for the downward, I feel 377 levels more likely to give us a good move. 376, 377. If you're not wrong in this. Let's just want to see one day chart. So we have a sort of V-shaped recovery for SBI from recent lows, from April lows, but it's facing resistance at that point. Sort of let's see what could happen. It's sort of bearish engulfing right now on the top. So see what could happen in this counter. But yeah. That's on SBI. Let me just bring up. You can see the OI of SBI. Interesting, right? What we're discussing. These two. Just keep it. Sometimes does it irritate? The HBI is coming up. Right. So we have significant call OI built up at 390 and 400 levels. We closed around 384 yesterday. So on one note, but we do not have any put OI built around at the lower levels. So that's sort of that's sort of tricky. But so the street estimate basically says SBI is going to present us with a blockbuster results. That was the reason it stood tall yesterday. I mean, it really did close in green. One of the only banks which closed apart from is PNB, right? So, or basically the other PSU banks. So I think yeah, this counter is a decent counter to look forward, but I would suggest caution on this counter. So on that note, yeah, um, keep you posted if there are any significant updates during the day. But that's it. Have a good, stay safe, stay home. Have a good trading day. Take care.